Hello there. I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to my podcast, Sacred Soul Sisters. My name is Justina. I am an Usui Holy Fire and Angel Reiki Master with over 20 years of practice, and I'm your host. I can't wait to let others feel the love of community and remind us of the importance of coming together instead of coming apart. Now let's take a deep breath together in through our nose and a long exhale out of our mouth. This is my intentions in a poem to set the tone for our sacred soul sister community. Here you go. Welcome, dear soul, to this sacred space where all are embraced with love and grace. From every land, from near and far, no matter who you are, you're a star. Feel the warmth, the light, the peace. Let your spirit find release. Here we gather, hearts aligned, to uplift, to heal, to realign. Breathe in deeply, feel your glow. Let your light expand and flow. As I pour into you with love so true, your cup overflows, your soul renews. Together we rise, in love we stand, lifting vibrations hand in hand. A mission of light, a journey divine. Thank you for sharing your soul with mine. Welcome to the Sacred Soul Sisters space, a home of love and sacred embrace. I'm so glad you're here.
Hello. We are back for section 2 of this beautiful episode, continuing with Peggy Huddleston, the author of Prepare for Surgery, Heal Faster. Her proven 5-step process beautifully integrates the relaxation, visualization, and supportive community to speed healing and reduce pain, all through the power of the mind-body connection. If you missed the episode last week, please go back and listen before listening to this one because you will definitely want to hear the beginning. We're so excited you're back with us for part 2. We're going to continue with the interview with Carolyn and Darcy and talk more about their experience following through the steps of Peggy's beautiful book, her 5-step process for surgery. On the day of surgery, Carolyn and Darcy, do you feel like there was any difference in kind of your method of things as far as the relaxation, the meditation part? Did you do anything different on the day of surgery versus like before surgery or after surgery?
We brought my phone and earbuds, and I had him listen to Peggy's meditation while he was in pre-op the whole time. I mean, when he could, when the nurses weren't coming in, but I did have him listen to it just to calm his nerves again. So, yes.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Research shows Peggy's steps can reduce pain medication use and speed healing. As far as Darcy, your pain after surgery, would you say you were having to take pain medication every 4 hours for a couple months or a couple weeks? Was there limited activity? Were you able to not move for several weeks? Like, what was your sort of recovery after the surgery?
The doctor wanted me to get up as soon as possible, and we did that. And I did have some pain, but I didn't even finish my medication. I felt like I didn't need it, and so it got to be where I didn't need to have the medication every 4 hours, and then we would extend the time period so that we didn't have to rely on medication. But I definitely took an approach of let's try to do this with less meds and not more.
And it worked.
That's
It seemed to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did it last several months that you had to be on pain medicine or?
No, this was, we're talking about 10 days maybe. I had
Wow.
the heavy stuff like the opiates and that didn't even finish those, right? So basically I was just kind of relying on Tylenol
And he had a major surgery too. So,
yeah.
You really did. I can vouch for that nursing
Yeah.
wise.
so the fact that he only had to take it for 10 days is pretty impressive. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and in those 10 days even was able to, like, spread it out some
right,
and
exactly.
transition to some Tylenol, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, unfortunately, I know people that have had surgeries that were not nearly as extensive as yours that they're on pain medication for months sometimes following that surgery and having lots of difficulty being able to get around. While the physician or surgeon would encourage them, you want to get up, move around, make sure you don't get pneumonia and that kind of thing, they would just, not do it because they would have too much pain in order to do it. So it's just mind blowing to me. Peggy, have you had any clients that you've spoke to about that have maybe had multiple surgeries or something, and then they came across your book and had maybe a slightly different experience?
I guess everyone I worked with has found it before surgery and used
Oh,
it that way. Um,
that's wonderful. I just I think it's so great, and I feel like from my assessment on having patients that have been to surgery, I feel like this would be a totally different response going through your book and through your process of everything versus, like I said, I kept telling Carolyn when I would talk to her about Darcy and how he was doing after surgery, and I'm just like almost dumbfounded. Like, are you serious? Like, he's what? He's like totally getting around. He's like able to move. He's like not screaming in pain. He's not, like what? Like he had extensive surgery. It's
Mhm.
just mind blowing to me. So I feel like those of you that are listening that have had multiple surgeries and maybe not had the best experience, like give it a try. I mean, if you can dramatically improve it, even if you can improve it by 10%, it's so worth it, right? It's just incredible. So, would you feel like there were any moments throughout this process, Carolyn and Darcy, that you felt were maybe especially sacred, validating, beyond explanation, um, throughout the surgery, throughout recovery? Like, is there something that do you feel like maybe different parts of it could have went different had you not taken such an approach of being invested in and the positive outcomes that you were hoping for?
Hmm. I mean, I think I so believed it was going to work. I mean, I just so believed what Peggy said and what I read in her book that I didn't have any doubt. I knew it was going to be okay. And I really believe in the mind, body, and soul connection. And so I didn't have any of this like moment where wow, I just think the belief was there 100% that this works. I mean, I know it. Yeah. So,
Yeah, we as we prepared for the surgery, and Caroline was such a good healing coach that um, Peggy, she found your book, and we both read it, and we were meeting different doctors, and during the process of kind of deciding where we're going to go to have the surgery, and we talked to different people about it, and some people were like, yes, we're totally on board, and we think that makes sense, and they believed in the mind body connection, and they were also supportive of the path, and there was no time when I felt like, um, because of the sort of steps that we took in the preparation that you helped us with, there was no time where we felt like, oh, this is a death sentence or anything like that, right?
Mm.
We're going into this with a positive frame of mind, and we're going to get there.
which hospital did you use?
Keck Medicine in USC down in LA.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, the RPLND surgery, lymph node dissection, is it's it's done by a few doctors quite frequently, and those people that do it frequently are the people that you want to do this surgery. And so we met somebody in New York, we talked to somebody in Indiana, we met somebody in LA, and decided to do it in LA, which is closer to where we live.
And
Mm-hmm.
when you say few, like few across the entire United States, not like few just in your local area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's high volume centers, I think you call it, and these are people that are doing the surgery once or twice a week, as opposed to people that do it once a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
That was very smart.
And
mhm.
so doing the research and understanding like who does this often and has the best approach to it, as opposed to someone who does it, um, you know, once a quarter, annually, 4 times, 5 times, that kind of thing.
Wow. Peggy, how do you feel about the power of belief? How do you feel like that contributes to the outcomes of these situations?
Well, I think it's essential, and there's so much research that's been done by Dr. Ted Kapsik about the power of belief. So it's well documented that first intention, and then the power of belief, and how then the placebo effect. He's done beautiful research. I mean, he's even done research where that have a person be told they had a surgery, but they didn't actually do it. And the people who didn't actually have the surgery but were told they had, they actually were walking better than people who had the surgery on their knee. Uh, his research is just phenomenal.
Wow.
Wow. Can you repeat his name again?
Dr. Ted Kapsik, how do you spell Ted's last name? K-A-P, I think, T-C-H-I-K. That may be right.
I hear you.
You probably could Google.
Mm-hmm.
We could find the name of his. He's written some good books about it. He's an acupuncturist, and he was trained in China, and
Wow.
and then he's now a full professor at Harvard Medical School, and has done amazing work documenting the power of belief and the placebo effect. So our beliefs are really important. Our beliefs really create realities.
Wow. Absolutely. And like you talked about in the first episode, our we are creators of our
We're,
life, right?
we're meant here on earth to learn how we create our own reality, not just think things happen to us, but in fact to consciously wake up and say, what do I want to create today? And most of all, be aligned with what the purpose is for this lifetime. Because before we came into this lifetime, we had a purpose for coming to earth. And the more you know what that is and you're aligned with it, there's just a joy in your life because you're on purpose.
I love that so much.
It's,
Peggy, what would you say to somebody who's preparing for surgery, but they're extremely anxious? They reach out to you, maybe they send you an email and just say, listen, I don't know much about this sort of power, this sort of healing, this sort of relaxation, like I mean, I truly believe in science, but I just don't know about this. Where would you direct them to look, or what more information would you direct them to read into, maybe in regards to that? Say they don't have a big time frame as far as not being able to get through the whole book or anything.
well, on my website, if they click about the book and videos, there are a bunch of videos of surgeons, nurses, and patients talking about how much it helped them. One with a patient using it to prepare for a mastectomy, another for a knee joint replacement. So I'd say look at other people's experience and feel how it resonates with you.
Absolutely. And just purely if you're having anxiety and it's not even having anything to do with the surgery, I would still suggest investing in the MP3, right?
Yes,
Would you say
exactly, because it never mentions surgery. So a person can use it if they're having trouble falling asleep. They can listen to it and get really sleepy and just fall asleep. It will reduce anxiety. Works for all kinds of things that are stress related.
wow, this is so incredible. As far as Carolyn and Darcy, do you feel like this would be something that you may do if for some reason a surgery came back into your future? Is that something you would look into doing again?
Absolutely, absolutely. I will do it every time, and I tell everyone. I really do. Anyone like actually a month later, a good friend of ours was diagnosed with prostate cancer. So Peggy, I sent them your book, and I mean everyone who I know is going through
And we
surgery.
had a friend who had a knee replacement, right? And so she took it to the book and and used your meditations as well, Peggy,
Yeah, yeah. So I tell everyone.
because she was deathly scared of going under the knife.
Yeah. So I think it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I mean, it's easy to do. And if you can heal 50% faster, it just, to me, why wouldn't you? Yeah. So of course we'll use it and I share it with everyone I know. Yeah.
I love that so much. A no-brainer. That's so true. It really is. It really is. And Peggy, so we talked a little bit before we hit record about you may have a couple other stories that you'd like to share or different studies that you've come across, different clients you've had in the past, perhaps that were going through some challenges and had great experiences. Is there anything you'd like to share with us?
Well, let me see. I told you my best story about that woman who didn't need to have uh, the bone
The,
graft
about
from her
her
hip.
tibia?
Yes,
Mhm.
but I've had people who, when I was living in Cambridge, who say had a bone that wasn't healing, like a broken arm. And
Mhm.
I'd often get calls the night before surgery saying, I am supposed to go into the hospital tomorrow to have a metal pin put in this to hold the bone together, but I don't want to. Is there a way this I could help the healing? I said, sure. Why don't you come on over and bring your husband and I'll guide you through this. So I said, but your surgeon's not going to be too happy that you're canceling the morning of surgery. So let me give you a name of a surgeon at New England Baptist Hospital who I've done a study with using this, how much it improved outcomes for knee joint replacement. And then use the book, have them do an x-ray to check here the bone, and then use the relaxation twice a day for 3 weeks, picturing the bone being fine, and then ask the same doctor to x-ray again. And sure enough, within 3 weeks, they'd say, wow, there's evidence of so much healing here. We don't need to do surgery. So what's great is you need the evidence, which when you can use an x-ray to actually see, wow, there is evidence of bone healing. This is working. And then once you get that reinforcement, the evidence, you get even more excited and just believe in it more. And it's really your belief in doing the relaxation and seeing the end result of your bone being healed.
Wow. And you talked about multiple sclerosis earlier too, right? So really, gosh, I feel like what have you got to lose? Any condition I feel like that someone may have could benefit
Well,
from this.
that's because every condition will benefit from relaxation, reducing stress so then the autonomic nervous system is in homeostasis. I learned so much from this because whenever I'd have friends who'd get some terrible diagnosis, they'd always call me up and say, I've gotten this awful diagnosis. I don't want to have to do what they're saying. Is there any other way to heal it? And I'd say, well, let's just give this a try. I know this has worked with other clients, and then use it and go, well, that worked again with that situation. I mean, I had a good friend whose wife had lupus, and they were suggesting to use medication. It's caused by an overly active immune system that suppresses the parasympathetic nervous system. And they say, we're going to have to give you medication to suppress your immune system, but it's going to may cause cancer. And they didn't, and I said, oh my gosh, I don't want that. So I said, well, come on, let's just go back and I'll show you how to use the relaxation. She had excruciating pain in her hands, and just using the relaxation once reduced the pain significantly. And then she kept listening to it twice a day. And with the lupus, I found that she had a lot of old emotions, trauma stored in her body. And as I would show her how to lift out with her hands, to scoop out the trauma and imagine a beautiful basket, and to put the trauma in a basket, and then to lift it up and ask, and this may
Mm.
sound too woo-woo, but it worked. Ask
No, I do it in
angels,
my sessions all the time. I love this.
oh, good. Ask angels to take the basket and transform the trauma into pure positive love. And as we did that, and after 3 months, I said, I think you're ready to go back to your immunologist and have them do more tests. And they said, wow, the markers for lupus have dropped 50%. Keep doing whatever you're doing. I think the most inspiring story I know was the doctor who was in charge of the the stem cell transplant department at the University of Maryland Medical Center when he had me come to Baltimore and train himself and the 12 nurses. The nurses were really hostile, like, because the outcomes for this procedure is very, very not so good. And
Yeah.
so I could feel the raw hostility in the room. So I asked the social worker who was taking the training, could you get me a patient who's going to, in about 3 weeks, have this procedure, and I can guide her through it so they can see how much better she does. So it was a woman who was 26. And when I asked her, well, tell me what, and she took, I did this session and I tape recorded because I wanted to be totally transparent. So when they said, wow, what did you do? I had the recording they could listen to. So
Absolutely.
I asked her, what's your life like? And she said, and this is what I hear from everyone, oh, I work 60 hours a week. I'm a graduate student at Johns Hopkins and I'm working full time. And I said, would you be willing, because you're putting yourself under incredible stress, which suppresses the function of your immune system. Would you be willing to take, she said, I've already put my schoolwork on hold and I've quit my job. I said, well, what are the things you'd love to be doing? She said, I love to listen to music and I love to dance to music. And I love being with my fiance. I love having lunch with friends. I said, would you be, and there's a chapter in my book that explains it. One more way to enhance your healing is doing all the things you love to do, like Darcy, doing the sailing. I can't even say the name of the neat
What
thing.
is that wing thing he does?
Yeah.
Wing foiling, yeah.
What is
Yeah,
that?
that thing. It's insane. It's insane.
It's a hydrofoil, right, Peggy? So it basically lifts you up a little bit out of the water.
Really?
Yeah,
It
so
looks like a mini sail ship on a mini surfboard with a thing sticking out the bottom. And
Wow.
it's crazy.
yeah, so
It must be fun. Wow.
it
You
is
must
fun.
feel like you're flying.
And so Peggy,
It's like flying, yeah.
were you able to help your patient? Was she
Yeah.
receptive
So,
to those
yeah.
things?
So she said, I'm just going to do everything I love to do. And she was having to go to the hospital every week to get certain cells transfused into her. And after just 3 days of doing what she loved to do, being with her fiance that she loved, then 3 days later, when they did the test, she didn't need the infusion of the cells.
Mm.
And this went on for 3 weeks. And at that point, her oncologist thought, I think we need to measure her bone marrow again. And they did. And they found it after 3 weeks of using this, of doing what you love to do, doing the relaxation twice a day, having quit her classes, stopped working, within 3 weeks, the assay of the bone marrow discovered it had sprung back to functionality by 70%.
That's
Wow.
insane.
Now, I was hoping, and that's why I'd recorded the session, I was hoping the oncologist said, well, let's do this for 3 more weeks and let's see what happens. Maybe
Right.
could have just avoided the transplant, but they didn't do that. And so the nurses said, well, she was the person who went through this the best, had the best outcomes we've ever seen. But I was disappointed because I wish they had said, just keep going. And she could
Right.
have put the whole thing in remission and not needed that very invasive procedure.
Hello. I just wanted to drop in real quick. And I wanted to reach out this invitation. If you and your friends feel called to gather for a spiritual retreat, say there is a venue near you, say there's one of your friends' homes that you'd like to host it in. Currently, only in the United States, I am doing this, but my goal is definitely to be able to broaden my horizons in the near future. But if you and your friends feel called to gather for a spiritual retreat somewhere local to you, and one that nurtures healing, love, peace, rejuvenation, I would be honored to hold space and guide you through that journey. Retreats are seriously one of my greatest joys: to lead, to teach, to share, to create community together, to love on people, to remind them how worthy and amazing they are. I just absolutely love them. And Also, if you know of a venue or a sacred space with beautiful healing energy that you'd love to suggest for some of my retreats in the future, I would love to hear from you. So please reach out, let me know, or if you would like more information or to connect, please reach out to me at email Justina, Justina, at angelreikijourney.com. So Justina, Justina, at ANGELREIKIJOURNEY.com. I can't wait to hear from you. I love you guys. Have a great day.
Right.
But
Wow.
our
How
capacity to
incredible.
heal is so huge.
Oh, that's incredible.
So
I
did you turn around that hostile group of practitioners?
Well, that doctor is still offering this to his patients at the
That's
University
great.
of Maryland Medical Center. And
I
he just
love
had
that.
his sister who lives in Israel to work with someone trained with me to use it for something she was going through. So, yeah, I'm still in touch with Dr. Aaron Aronson in Baltimore.
Oh, wow.
That is incredible. So incredible. Peggy, I have patients that have Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis and those kinds of things, and they have to take heavy doses of steroids, right? Not all of them, but some of them that have come to me, and we've been able to decrease their amount of steroids. But again, by putting them in that state, creating that sacred space, that relaxation, oh my gosh, it's incredible. And I
Yes,
love what you talk about. Go ahead.
but they have to go one step further, Justina. They
Mhm.
have to feel where they're putting their stress. What part of their body are they tensing? Because always saying with uh, colon surgery, that's the part of their body they're tensing. So they have to learn when they get stressed to relax and not keep
Yes.
tensing and damaging that area. So they need to do two things, and
In
then they
order to
can feel it.
decrease that chronic inflammation.
Exactly. Yep. Because it's become a
Absolutely.
habitual response out of fear. And all
Yes.
of us, when we're stressed, have some part of our body we tense. It could be our shoulders. Everyone's got something they've just gotten in the habit of stressing, and that's what they want to change if that area is really being exacerbated.
Absolutely. How you talked about, really feeling into the things that you love, doing the things that make you feel so alive. So I feel like with that, I should probably go ahead and move in with Darcy and Carolyn. Um, you know, so I can just be at peace 24/7. But it's just there's so much to say about really figuring out how you're going to incorporate times of really being in spaces where you can feel your soul on fire,
Mhm.
right? That you can feel the love exuding out of you, when you feel in alignment, when you feel the best that you feel, whether it's rocking babies or whether it's mowing grass or whether it's painting, whatever it is. There's so much. It's so beyond important. It's not just frivolous when we talk about, we'll have a hobby, do something you really like now and then, blah blah blah. But there's such a bigger purpose than that.
Well, what you're talking about is being in a state of flow. And it's doing something because you love how you feel. It's why Darcy does the sailing that he does. I still can't say that word.
Wing foiling, I
Wing
think.
foiling, that's it. That's it. Um, and and Carolyn just loves loving Darcy. Uh,
Mhm,
so that puts her into flow. So it's doing whatever you love and do it for the joy of how you feel. It's when you go into a state of oneness. It could be for some people it's knitting. So it's not
mhm,
the activity. It's the thing that you do that puts you into flow. Uh, some people, it's runners call it the running high, and they go into a state of flow, state of oneness. So it's that state you want to have a job you do that puts you into a state of flow. And so that's when you're doing the work that is really aligned with your purpose this lifetime. You're doing it because you love it. It's like what you do, Justina. You love giving Reiki.
I do. I absolutely do. I turn into a 3-year-old jumping up and down
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
when I get to do it. It's incredible. And and I still love nursing. I went back to pick up shifts here and there. And what I found this time, because I took a big leave of working in a hospital setting or working as a nurse and doing full Reiki. But what I found is when I went back this time to be able to do nursing here and there, I'm different now.
Mm,
I've been able to be in this flow. I've been able to feel heart led, and I've been able to now decipher what is for me and what is not,
Mm-hmm.
and
Exactly.
and what position is in alignment and what is not, and that it's
Good.
okay to make that it's okay to make a decision not to do something
It's
if
really
it's
important.
not in
It's
alignment.
life-saving. Yep.
Yes, it really is life saving. I mean, it's incredible what job changes can do for your health. It's incredible what life changes can do for your health. Like you just talked about when you asked that lady what her daily life looked like, right? Like she was working 60 hours a week, or she was going to school, she was doing like all these different things. And you're so right when you say you hear that a lot
I
because,
always hear it.
and it used to be me. And part of it was me because I was kind of caught up in this overachiever. Like I wanted to be the hero for everything and everyone. And I wanted to do everything 10 times better than the best that could do it. And I wanted to, just do everything perfect. And what I finally realized, while that may have looked like, oh wow, you're doing great and you work so hard and all of this, and my body was losing its mind.
Mm-hmm.
I had constant headaches, I had migraines, I had neck aches, my back hurt,
Wow.
my stomach was upset 24/7. There there's so many signals your body's sending you at all times saying, "Hey, hey, I'm trying to tell you." And we try to take ibuprofen and Tylenol and narcotics, whatever, or we drink, or there's so many ways we can try to muzzle our physical body to not listen.
Exactly.
But I promise you, you do it long enough, it's not going to end well.
That's right.
So I'm so glad that you have brought this to the world, Peggy. Like, I'm so freaking excited that I had the opportunity to speak with you today. And I'm so excited that Carolyn had brought this back to my attention and I could feel the love pouring out of her. And I was just losing my mind to figure out how to get in touch with you
Well,
because
it's just for me, it's just an honor, and I'm just filled with gratitude, Carolyn, for your finding the book, remember finding the title, for reading it, guiding Darcy through it, Darcy reading it, and then inspiring Justina, because I know it was my purpose to bring this into the world. So you just help. I'm filled with gratitude and thanks for what you three have done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for creating the book. I believe in it and I know it was so helpful for Darcy,
Yeah,
yeah.
great.
I'm so glad.
And the meditation, we continue to do it. And so Darcy has a hurt knee. So I'm like, okay, you're going to meditate and visualize that knee completely healed. So you don't
Good.
have to do surgery. Yeah, I love that.
Good.
Well, we've listened to your voice hundreds of times on the tape, right? And now we get to hear it in person, which is
Oh,
great.
good.
So
Good.
it's healing in itself.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Justina, for making this happen.
Yeah.
yes.
Great thanks.
Peggy, how can people get in touch with you if they would like to? And is there any offerings coming up that you would like to share?
Oh, thanks. They can just go to my website, healfaster.com. And if they click on About the Book, as a drop-down menu, and they can read the 5 steps, they can read the research, and then at the bottom, they can click on workshops and trainings. And I give a training, a 2-day training. The next one is November 15th and 16th, showing people how to be trained and certified in this program so they can bring it to hospitals and teach it. So yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I am so excited.
And Carolyn and Darcy, it's lovely to meet you and your
Lovely.
inspiration. Thank
Nice to
Lovely.
meet you.
Great to meet you.
Make
Thank
it all
you.
go
Thank you
full
for your
circle.
book.
Thank
Yeah.
you for keeping it going.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you,
Peggy,
Justina. Thank you
you
so
are
much.
welcome. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you to you. Thank you to Darcy. Thank you to Carolyn. Thank you all for all of your wisdom and compassion in this episode. Peggy, the incredible reminder that healing begins not just in the body, but in the heart and soul. Your work is such a powerful blend of science and spirit, a true bridge between the seen and the unseen, reminding us that peace, love, and intention can transform our healing journeys. To our beautiful listeners, if you or someone you love is preparing for surgery or seeking a more peaceful, empowered healing experience, or simply tuning in to you and allowing your body to do what it was created to do and heal you, I encourage you to explore Peggy's work. Her book, Prepare for Surgery, Heal Faster, and her relaxation audio. And she did say you can get the audio on her website as well. I think it's $15.99. You can learn more at healfaster.com.
Healfaster.com. And there's a radio interview I did on an NPR affiliate station. They can listen to that explains the 5 steps.
Wonderful. And may you remember that you are never alone on your healing path. Love is the most powerful medicine, and your body listens when your heart feels safe. And that's what this is all about. So until next time, I'm sending you all waves of peace, healing, and radiant light. Thank you for being part of our
Thank you,
Sacred Soul
Justina.
Sisters.
Bye,
You're
Carolyn and
welcome.
Darcy.
Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, I wanted to take a quick second and say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for listening to this podcast. And I want to take a minute and ask for a quick favor. If when you're listening to an episode, if you could please just take a second, place your hand on your heart and take a deep breath in through your nose and a long exhale out of your mouth, and just set the intention to send love and light to every single person listening right now, yesterday, and in the future. I think together we just might be able to raise the vibration of this world. I'm so excited. And please follow me on Instagram at Angel Reiki Journey. Visit my website to book an appointment with me at angelreikijourney.com. And please follow this podcast, Sacred Soul Sisters. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Have a great day.